I, Vaishnavi Goodmalwar from MBA first year student, welcome you all for the 4th day of the ATAL Faculty Development Program. I will take this opportunity to extend a warm welcome to our esteemed guests, faculty members and participants. I would request Dr. Meghna Vilare ma'am to kindly felicitate Dr. Kirti Dharwadkar ma'am. We are privileged to have with us a distinguished speaker, Dr. Kirti Dharwadkar ma'am. Dr. Kirti ma'am she holds the position of director at a Pimpri Chinchwad Education Trust, SD Patil Institute of Management. She has more than 29 years of experience in a corporate teaching, training and administration. Ma'am holds a PhD and MPhil in Development Economics and MPM in a HR and Industrial Relations from Savitribai Phule, Pune University. She is a PhD guide under Savitribai Phule, Pune University. 9 students have been awarded their PhD degrees under her able guidance. Ma'am has to her credit more than 36 national and international research papers, and she has authored 4 books till date. Dr. Kirti ma'am is a recipient of renowned awards such as Indian Achievers Forum Award, Women of Excellence Award, Lokmat Professional Icon Award, Academic Leader of the Year 2019. Ma'am is a member of various reputed bodies of academies such as Academic Council, Board of Studies and PhD Committee. She is also postdoc evaluator of Savitribai Phule, Pune University. She holds a professional lifetime membership at Integrated Chambers of Commerce and Industry, New Delhi, NIPM Pune and the Indian Society of Training and Development ISTD Pune chapter. Today, we will be starting with an interesting session on strategic sustainable partnership. This isn't about teaming up with others, it's about forming a deep and enduring connectors that contribute to long-term success. Ma'am, we are eager to learn from your wealth of knowledge and expertise. Without further ado, may I kindly request ma'am to address our audience and share your insights with us. Please, ma'am.
Good afternoon. I hope you had a very nice lunch. But I had, and it was really nice to have a wonderful lunch. I know this session, the topic which is given to me is how partnerships are going to help in the coming days to carry out the sustainability. I think last 3-4 days you are probably going through a lot of churning about what is sustainability, this and that. But the topic which I have given, that how you can through strategic partnership get a competitive advantage, which is sustainable, right? So most of the people who are in business, or you will say those who are carrying out a lot of activities, must think that whether whatever I do or what I am going to do is sustainable or not. Today's world is very fast, it is very challenging and very dynamic. Many times we don't think on those grounds whether a particular act, particular activity, particular business is really going to stand in that era for a longer period or not. We have seen that many schemes have come, many schemes have gone, but how many startups have turned to be unicorn? We find that hardly few of them are turned to be unicorn. Though India has been termed as a very highest country who is producing the unicorns, but still, compared to our population, do you think that still we have that position which has been claimed, proportionate to our population? We call ourselves the youngest populated country. So what today I am going to speak on is that we are in an academic era. More my functioning is that how we are going to sustain through partnerships, especially in an academic sector, because it's very much needed, especially for the MBA colleges. It is going to be challenging. The reason behind that is that after NEP, when it becomes 4 years course, what is the future of MBA, right? That is the first part. Even the industry can play a good role to make the institution sustainable for a longer period. Now, how the partnership makes a lot of difference in any kind of activity. I'll start with the lecture, which is my own personal example. My brother has one medical challenge, that is a retinitis pigmentosa, where your retina get damaged over the period and slowly you become blind, right? Now, that has been diagnosed in 1982 and there was no cure. Still there is no cure. And when we went to Post and Pillar to find out the remedy for it, in 1982-83 we got a lead that in Russia there was some treatment which was undergoing under research, and this the required spending at that time around 83, it was 1.5 lakh only treatment, and staying is different. Now you can see that during the 82 period, the going abroad is itself a big what you call trauma तो नहीं कहेंगे, but it was a normal middle class family के लिए वो बहुत बड़ी बात थी. My father was a defense person, so no chance. इतना पैसा तो था नहीं. Nor we inherited any properties, right? So we decided ठीक है, जो हमारा Indian कुछ होगा उसी में देखेंगे, and they have given us time कि till 35 कुछ तो हो जाए. In 1992, cut short to 10-12 years later, we got one article in the newspaper saying that Apollo Hospital 1993-92 की बात इसलिए मैं कर रही हूँ क्योंकि that time India has turned towards the globalization and LPG, right? And we have opened our doors to come for the partnership. Apollo Hospital extended that partnership to the Russian doctors who used to come here and treat the patients who are having this disease. And the total expenditure has tremendously came down. Now, the people who are really having such kind of issues, do you understand why I am giving this example? I can relate that how partnership is helpful for the people who cannot afford. I am not talking about today's time where I can spend, I can go, but now I don't want to go. But that time it was really very challenging, and he got operated there, and he was the one of the beneficiary who has saved almost 15% of his eyesight. And he can at least manage to do till 20-25 years the work independently, right? But in southern India, this problem is almost in every family. Can you see that people can go and afford and take a treatment outside? It's very difficult. So why partnership? But unfortunately, why I am giving this example, the sustainability was a bigger question. We didn't understand the value of that partnership, what the government has extended, and due to the internal politics at Apollo, internal doctors doubting and a lot of other issues, the doctor, because they are not sharing what they are doing, because it's their IP, right? That is their intellectual property right. So they were not sharing. It was that you learn something, but the main what you call medicine which they were bringing from there, it was not known to anyone. That partnership did not sustain just because the internal. So when he again went for the treatment of a next gap in 1994, he found that all Russian doctors went back. Now, who is at the loss? When I talk about partnership, can you understand that who is at loss? Are people, huge amount of people who require that support, but due to the partnership sustainability, they were not able to. Neither you got a competitive advantage to start that medicine. So my idea to tell this is that most of the time we think we know what is sustainability, but many times we do not devote our efforts to make those partnerships sustainable. That is the major problem. Competitive advantage, why other countries after 70, 75 years got developed, got a tag of development. You can see the Japan, completely demolished after Second World War, but where they stand today. But India, who has a lot of potential and a what you call talent pool, still we are struggling to get that competitive advantage in the world. The reason that for is that we do not think of a solution which is more sustainable. Our topics are mostly on a paper which gives the glorified, many times the picture, but sustainable efforts are also required to achieve that competitive advantage, to get the output to be at that place. Okay? It is uploaded. PPT. I sent it on a mail. If not, then I'll give it pen drive.
मेल पे नहीं लगा
टाइम लग रहा है तो अवेलेबल वीडियो लगा इट्स ओके So, what is sustainability? Need, these I'm just going to rush because that probably you have heard since last 2 or 3 days. Now relating what is sustainability. Now what is the main aspect which you should consider when you talk about sustainability and partnership? The major issue is that how much resources you should have in your hand. Most of the time people plan which is beyond their capacity. We have a larger population, but we have a limited land, limited resources in proportion to that all. लोग ज़्यादा है, खाना कम है, प्रोडक्शन कम है, इंडस्ट्री की चीज़ें देखो कम है, स्कूल कॉलेजेस कम है, मेडिकल कॉलेज कम है, सब देखो तो कम है in proportion to your size of population. So what we have, whenever I do a partnership, it is very necessary for me to understand whether my resources are sufficient or not, because sustainability का main base यही है. If I will do a partnership and if I am not able to, raw material नहीं है तो production होगा. So resource is your raw material in sustainability. Second point is production, means what we make. I am good in what? Don't try to put your hands in everything which is not possible to sustain for a longer period. You take an example that today most of the time people are seen that we are becoming a process oriented rather than the owner itself. Example, as students are here, many times I would like to say that most of the, बहुत सारे बच्चे finance लेते हैं, all teachers will agree with me. सबका problem बहुत है ये. Being a director, I also know that. And I ask them, तो वो मुझे बोलते हैं, मैम नहीं मिला जॉब, हमको पता है नहीं मिलता है, तो क्या करेगा तू? नहीं मैम मैं डेरिवेटिव में जाऊंगा. मैंने बोला क्या आता तुझे? नहीं मैम 2 महीने छुट्टी थी तो हमने यही किया. नॉलेज बेस, रिसोर्सेज एज वेल एज वो प्रोड्यूस करने का टैलेंट. हमारा इफ आई एम टेकिंग अ फाइनेंस, व्हाट इज योर आइंग ऑन अ प्रोसेसिंग यूनिट, केपीओस. वी वर डिस्कसिंग, इज माय फैकल्टी, वी वर डिस्कसिंग इट कि बच्चों का व्हाई दे वांट टू बिकम अ क्लर्क. व्हेन यू बिकम अ केपीओ एम्प्लॉय, व्हाट यू आर डूइंग? Somebody else processes, you are doing at your own. वो भी सारा डेटा आपके पास है, तो आप बने क्या क्लर्क नहीं, डेटा एंट्री जो हमारे टाइम पे चलता था. So you're just inputting, you're not using your brain, bachas. And what is happening? We have a talent. Our students, I always believe that Indian students have a lot of brain, but we are not using it. And that is the reason why we are not sustaining in our own country, but we are developing some. They are becoming developing because इतनी ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम्स होने की वजह से जो बहुत टैलेंटेड रहता है वो कहता है ये मैं कहाँ सिस्टम बदलूं, सो मैं चला. And he went off, and the people who cannot afford to go for higher studies or something like that, वो नहीं जा पाते. पर हम जो हमारा टैलेंट है, why we are not able and capable to enhance myself here also and outside also? Because दुनिया इतनी छोटी हो गई है that I have seen many people taking the projects of foreign countries and doing here. So produce rather than become the source of someone to just follow the process. And the last is lifestyle. That is the most important, what you call the cause of sustainability. हम कैसे जीना चाहते हैं? That is the lifestyle. Everybody wants a good lifestyle, good home, good clothes, branded, Bacardi, Bucardi, क्या जो भी है, सब कुछ चाहिए. I want Apple, right? जो भी नई टेक्नोलॉजी हो, but that lifestyle, quoted, unquoted, require a lot of resources. Technology doesn't come free. It comes with lot of. We are gadget oriented, but do you know how much gadgets are creating environmental loss? How you can जो खराब हो जाते हैं चीजें उसको हम डिस्ट्रॉय कैसे करते हैं? It's very difficult. In India there is only one firm जो इतने mass scale पर regenerate कर पाए. You can understand that how many of us are using. And what do we do once it broke? Just throw. And it's not dissolving. So sustainability is not only in terms of one or two aspects. It has a spillover or spillover which keeps on going and falling on other aspects also. So these are the three elements: environment, social and economical sustainability. Now, what are the example of, see, how many of us are really, we know that कितने लोग यहाँ जो बैठे हैं, वो जब बाहर जाते हैं तो लाइट बंद करके जाते हैं, घर से भी और ऑफिस में. Everybody, बिल आता है तेरा कम. But anyway, that is a good habit. It is necessary because once created, the energy is not reused again once it is lost. How many of are really using, I won't say EV every time, but solar energy? So renewable energy के sources हमारे पास कितने हैं और कितने ढूंढने की कोशिश. The second point is wastage of very important resources, पानी. There are many people, you go in Africa, you will see, I don't know how many of you see National Geographic. उसमें देखिए लोग पानी कैसे पीते हैं. There are many countries who are using salt water converted into drinkable water, especially Israel, Saudi Arabia. These all countries use the salted water to convert into drinking. But हमारे यहाँ पर it is always Am I audible? Thank you. Teacher है तो इतना तो आवाज आ ही जाए. So many times we have seen that the people use, हम जब we are brushing, the tap is open sometimes. You are washing the clothes and everything, it's still there. So this wastage of resources is many times found it very difficult to reduce it. So that is the most important aspect of environment. Then conserving water, that is again there. Using energy efficient equipment. Nowadays we are little I'll say that we are little aware of it. कितने stars हैं, we see it. We buy fridge, TV, and then we buy those products. So conservation, reducing travel and travel emission. How many of you are really still using the pool vehicle? That is really required. In Pune, if you see the statistics of RTO, people are less, vehicles are more. हर घर में मिनिमम 3 या 4 गाड़ियां होती ही है. कार नहीं होगी पर 2 व्हीलर तो. And we are so habitual. Bombay have that less problem because their connectivity is very good. There people are more dependent. Service is also good. Best हर जगह है. हर 5 मिनट में बस आती है वहाँ पर. ट्रेन हर मिनट पे है. And the network is very beautiful. Very efficient. Bombay जैसे ले, but everybody cannot sustain again, right? Then comes the creating products that are easy to recycle. हमें बहुत बार बोला गया है वन टाइम प्लास्टिक मत यूज करो. 5,000 रुपया फाइन लगा चुके, बट स्टिल आई गो इन अ मार्केट, यू फाइंड इट कि वो अंदर से कहीं से आपने बैग मांगा वो चुपके से निकाल के देता है. So until and unless we ourselves is not partnering with as a social element, not partnering with the people, कभी भी होगा नहीं. रिसाइकल तो होना ही है. जो आया वो टूट के वापस आपको यूज करने आना चाहिए. So recycle is a very important aspect. You can see nowadays the innovation in recycle is very high. Have you seen that the renovated chairs prepared from the cloths? हम बोलेंगे अरे उसमें strength कहाँ होती है इतना बेटा, but they recycle the cloths, they recycle some of the part into it which gives that strength, and then you can sit on those. कितना भी मोटा दुबला आदमी हो वो आराम से बैठ सकता है. Tires, rubber से, these all recycled tires are already refurbished. बट रिफर्बिश होने के बाद भी उसको रिसाइकल करके उसके ऊपर से फर्नीचर बनाया जाते हैं. सो दिस काइंड ऑफ इनोवेटिव आइडिया इज डेफिनेटली रिक्वायर्ड. लास्ट पॉइंट इज कंस्ट्रक्टिंग एंड मेंटेनेबल सस्टेनेबल बिल्डिंग. दो वी आर नॉट वेरी प्रोन टू द what you call earthquake region, but still if you see the environmental changes, you feel that any time this can happen. Maybe we are not at the center, but overall if you go in Haryana or Madhya Pradesh or UP, anytime, I don't know if you went to that area, still they don't put the plasters on their buildings. Most of those area has only bricks, but that is many times dangerous because थोड़ा भी उसको ट्रेमर लगता है तो वो घर गिर जाता है. And you find that many people are dying because of that. So how many आजकल when certification of building is given only when you have that certificate कि आपकी बिल्डिंग की स्ट्रेंथ कितनी है to bear this tremors. Now second point is a social sustainability. Social sustainability में रोल सबसे ज़्यादा हमारा है. As a person, how I am contributing. मुझे ये बोलना तो बहुत अच्छा लगता है, but really I am contributing in that or not. You can see that equality जो HR लेने वाला है उनके लिए ये बहुत ज़रूरी है, because this all they need to follow, right? I'm not going in detail. Economic तो बहुत बड़ा है, because without growth, without economic sustainability, you will find that none of us are going to sustain for a longer period. So poverty eradication, this and that, because whatever SDG जो है sustainability development goals which are given by UNO is definitely required. These all things has to be in a mind. So if I want the sustainability, I have those sustainable efforts has to be variable, equitable as well as. नहीं तो मैंने ऐसे सॉल्यूशन दे दिए जो बहुत खर्चीले हैं. I don't think so anybody is ready to afford. India is best in जुगाड़. So why don't you take a best example of ISRO, right? Today most of the world people are looking at us to send their satellites, right? So we are providing. अभी जो हम नया yesterday there were 2-3 days before there was a news that DRDO is developing our own defense system. I am sure that India will get the solution which is most cheapest than all other world because they are capitalists. उनको सिर्फ profit दिखता है. जो आज world में हो रहा है, do you think that is the goal of sustainability? You can see it is going to harm the environment tremendous. 2 साल से Ukraine-Russia war. And now this Middle East. The damage to the earth and damage to the society, damage to the environment will be very, very high. And उसका सारा चीज हमारे पे आने वाला है. You see the environment change. कभी भी बारिश हो रही है, कहीं पे भी हो रही है. And most of the time you will see the flood because the temperature of the earth is going up and because of which all the glaciers are getting and this जितने भी flood आ रहे हैं या जो भी El Nino जो भी हो रहा है, it is because of the imbalance in the environment and it is irreversible. जितना बारूद या जितना आप वहाँ पर डाल रहे हो, where it will go, ultimately your water will not be drinkable, ultimately the air is not inhalable. So these all, whatever things people, profit and planet, everything is going to get affected. We are neutral, but still, since the world is connected with each other, you cannot escape from it. Today my supply chain is completely collapsed. I'm not getting a continuous supply of lot of items and the prices are going up. So what it is, the partnership of chain is getting and nobody is getting that competitive advantage. Because if you want to get a competitive advantage, you have to have that uniqueness. लेकिन वो uniqueness मैं कैसे build करूँ जब मेरे पास resources ही नहीं आते? Because of the break in the supply chain. Getting it? Now this is how the sustainability, 3 elements are interdependent on each other. Now if I see that sustainability, suppose if I talk about social, quality of life, of education, community development, equal opportunity, law and ethics. But that again, dependent on economic, you should provide the fair taxing system for each and every person. You should have the tax system which has a loopholes, which is overlapping, which is unnecessary putting a pressure on your people. So why these are the common, you have to give the social sustainability. Along with that, the economic factor you have to keep in mind. So what that are? Fair taxation. Whenever we many times seen the profit जो part है sustainability का, in India we see that sometimes people are crossing the business ethics. It comes under the corporate governance. How ethically I am running my business. How I am giving what is he or she has been paid. Is whatever product, if you see in foreign countries, the trust is the highest in their countries because the people and the businesses are, है उधर भी है, ऐसा मैं नहीं बोलूँगी कि corruption नहीं है, everywhere because human beings are there, corruption will be there. But business ethics, trust, वहाँ आप जाओगे, आप गए, product आया, online आपको पसंद नहीं है तो आप वैसे ही लौटा दे सकते हो. But in India, many times we have lot of problems. The first business ethic case found in India for Satyam. We have seen how the things have been manipulated and the people has been taken at a toss. जितने भी scams हुए, you have seen in the movies OTT, 1991 scam, Harshad Mehta hai, Ketan Mehta hai, you pick up anything. How many people have lost their money? So the business ethics is a very important aspect because हर कोई आपके business में उतना माहिर नहीं है उस चीज को समझने के लिए. But when I am running a business in a country, I am liable to answer the people who are my customers. आपको कोई control नहीं करेगा. तो ये business ethics हम हमारे खुद के, even as an individual, be it a student, be it an employee, be it an owner, be it a whomsoever, as a citizen of any country, if I am doing, it's my responsibility. मैं ये नहीं कहूँगी कि आप हरिश्चंद्र के अवतार बनो, but still you have to have some ethics in your mind that I'm not going to cross this limit, whatever it may be. I know sometimes हम बहुत कुछ बोलते हैं, लेकिन जब हमें पुलिस पकड़ती है तो हम 100 रुपए देकर ही आते हैं. जब मुझे रिजर्वेशन नहीं मिलता है तो मुझे पैसे देकर रिजर्वेशन खरीदना ही पड़ता है. I know it's very difficult. बोलना बहुत आसान है, पर उसको implement करना थोड़ा challenging है. But in certain matter which is not harming someone else is easy to follow. That is what my principles are. Then last is a trade union, workers' right, government spending. इसमें भी गवर्नमेंट में बहुत सारा पैसा दिया जाता है. You can see the hierarchy. I think some political leader has already told. ऊपर से 1 रुपया आता है तो नीचे आते आते आपको 10 पैसे ही. बट वो सब करता कौन है? शायद हम. मुझे मेरा काम निकलवाना है तो मैंने ही उस आदमी को बताया कि तू मुझे कैसे दे सकता है. I'll pay you. So who is responsible? That is why they are crossing this two. इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ, अगर इकोनॉमिक सस्टेनेबिलिटी करनी है तो पहले आपको सोशली स्ट्रॉन्ग होना. द सेम इज एप्लीकेबल टू दिस एनर्जी एफिशिएंसी फॉर एनवायरनमेंट. और एनर्जी एफिशिएंसी का मतलब इवन द इंडस्ट्री इन इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ हैज टू फॉलो दैट. यू विल नॉट थ्रो द डंप इन वाटर. So that is a business ethics again, as well as the environment consciousness. तो ये सारी चीजें एक दूसरे से इंटरलिंक है, तो आप किसी को भी अलग नहीं कर सकते. So if you want social sustainability and economic sustainability, both are again interlinked. If you want the environment, social and economic thing, these all common areas has to be keep in mind. You cannot omit any one from it, because ये किया तो वो होगा. आप सोचोगे मैं कन्वीनियंटली ये कर लूंगी पर ये नहीं करूंगी, बिकॉज फिर उसके रिजल्ट वो आएगी. राइट? नाउ हु आर द पीपल और हु आर द फैक्टर्स, एलिमेंट्स इन दैट वी कंसीडर हाउ, व्हाई एंड फॉर whom we have to do. So 4 P's are very important in a sustainability process. One is your people. उनके सिवा तो आप किसके लिए सस्टेनेबिलिटी करोगे? Getting it? So people are very very important element of your sustainability process. Planet, धरती हमारी माँ है, world is सब कुछ है. So if the planet sustain, I am going to. If planet is healthy, people will be. You see that the reports are coming that how usage of plastic is harming the health of the child, people. कहीं भी ले जाओ. Recent study was showing micron जो पीने के पानी में है वो भी मिल चुके हैं. Now how you will find out? Very important is that next part we will give prosperity. If your planet people are good, healthy, prosperity will automatically come. Now here I have taken the plastic also one of the, क्योंकि बिना प्लास्टिक के हमारा जीवन नहीं है भाई. Bottle, plastic, right? Going for shopping, भी थोड़ा बहुत प्लास्टिक. So बिना प्लास्टिक के the planet is not exist, people are not exist, prosperity. But if you want to use a plastic, government has given the guidelines. You can use the plastic which is recyclable. 20 micron, which you can dissolve and reuse and recycle, right? So that is the reason why, in spite of it is a harmable product, I have taken as one of the component of a sustainability. Now these are the sustainable goals जो UN ने दिए हैं और आपको पढ़ने हैं और याद रखने हैं. Okay? Because it is applicable universally. Most of the countries are suffering in this. Poverty eradication है, employment है, ये है, वो है, बहुत है. I don't know when we will achieve that, but still many of them are. India is gone 13% up in poverty eradication, so it was a good sign. Then we come to the zero hunger. भूखा तो नहीं रहता, but if you see the hunger index, you will see that all over the world में जितने लोग हैं उससे ज़्यादा production है, but still South African countries like Sudan, Ethiopia and this and that, still children are, they are hungry, they are not having water, not clothes, खाना तो छोड़ ही दो. So वो भी एक United Nation का goal है. Then there are many, you can see later on, wherever it is relevant. Now, what are the 6 important R's which we were talking about sustainability? First is rethink. मैं जो कर रहा हूँ वो सही है या नहीं? That is very important. Self-conscious. If you really want to sustain, because you don't know after 10 years what is going to happen. It's really challenging. Many times people are forgetting वो आज का सोचते हैं. Because I see that difference. This audience which is sitting here and the age of mine is having a 1 generation gap. I could see that change. And really it is very different than what we were. The resources, technology. So rethink is that really we are making a healthy society or not is a thinkable. So rethink that whatever I am using, it is sustainable, it is going to give the good life to the coming generation or not is very important. Then refuse. If you don't find it appropriate, learn how to say. वो सबसे बड़ा problem है. We are not able to say no. Second, third is reduce. If there is no other alternative, reduce the consumption wherever it is possible. Then is reuse. जो चीजें हम हैं जितने दिन अच्छे से यूज कर सकते हैं करो और उसके बाद किसी और को दो जिसको उसकी जरूरत है. Rather than wasting it. Then is a recycle. That is also, you know, I have told you that try to use those things which are recycled, right? So some other products, some other things can be repaired, and other is a repair. थोड़ा सा टूट गया तो if it is repairable, try to. Now, how you achieve, the last point of this is how you can achieve that competitive advantage. It's very important that too, because competitive advantage मिलेगा कब आपको? The first element of competitive advantage is why you should be identified. And how you will be identified if you are unique. So competitive advantage का एक important aspect है which leads to partnership is that how unique you are in terms of product or in terms of process, anything. So the elements which are, you should have your own brand. Can anybody tell me any time of your life cycle have you seen that Sony is any time putting any discounts on their products? Anybody has seen any time? Sony television या Sony का कोई भी product. The first point, brand loyalty. Apple के लोग उनको Apple ही चाहिए, वो चाहे कुछ भी करें. So this is a brand loyalty created, and every you can explicitly see they are unique. Why I have given the example of Sony? Because I have seen their products are really good and they do not compromise on their. So people have, so if I want to get a competitive advantage, I have to see that people have a brand loyalty. Second is a proprietary information, IPRs. So I should have a patent, I should have a unique product which is not available in the market. Then scale. Why China is ahead of India? Just because of India is not able to produce the quantity which they are able to produce. Next is a intellectual property. It is same है. Propriety थोड़ा सा propriety मतलब ownership है. Here intellectual property means patent. Then come the location where you are located. How accessible you are. Your product is good, but if it is not reaching to the people in a required time, your location is not going to give you the competitive advantage. Last is locked up supply. How easily you can supply once the order is received. And the network effect and innovation. India lacks into innovation. हम नया कुछ, how many industries are spending budgets on R&D? How many educational institutes like us or engineering really giving opportunity to the student to do something out of it? हम एग्जाम CCE और इसमें फंस जाते हैं, बट हम कभी ये लिबर्टी दे दें क्या हमारे स्टूडेंट्स को? मुझे बहुत बार लगता है ये देना चाहिए, बट we all are bonded into the process so much that though I think in that way, but I am not able to. So innovation is a very important aspect जो अब हम importance दे रहे हैं after secondary. Nevertheless, and this is the last element of competitive advantage. You can just see it and how you can achieve that. So these are the keys to achieve that competitive advantage. Now India's topmost companies, 20 I have listed, there are many more, but these are the companies who are really spending on a sustainability projects. A huge spending they are doing to achieve that, because these are the flourishing companies. So thank you very much for patient listening. I hope it was interesting and you were not finding sleepy, because it was a post lunch. I have given you one print of a case, and I have given one exercise that as an educational institute, how you can create a partnership. What will be your vision, mission in terms of NEP, and how you will achieve that. Prepare a 1, 2, 3 page report where you can give that competitive advantage, how you through partnership, educational institution through partnership can achieve that. Okay? And there are few articles of Tata also I have given as a reading article or reading material. And one case I have given of Arvind Eye Care, who is achieved a good benchmark in sustainability. They are the eye center actually. And how they have achieved that sustainability so that maximum poor people can at a low cost get a service of operation on eye cataract, as well as some other operations related to eye disease. And they achieve a good sustainable this. These are the moral and other cases. Out of that you can give a 1 or 2 page sustainable partnership competitive advantage report for the educational institution. Okay, it's not for anybody else. So being the students, being the teachers, how you can plan, consider the NEP elements also, and how you can make that every institute sustainable for a longer period, because NEP is bringing lot of changes. So how those changes will affect us and how we can survive through that, you have to create a 1 or 2 page report, or a solution. I won't say it's a report, it will be a solution. So how most creatively you can give the solutions to from the student point of view, student faculty point of view, you can just discuss and show it, right? Anything else in the presentation? It's already too exhaustive, is it?
Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your insightful inputs with us today. Your expertise and wisdom are truly appreciated. Your words have certainly enriched our understanding. Now, I would call Christina to share the recap of today's learnings.
As we wrap up this insightful session on the evolution of strategic sustainability partnership since the globalization era, it's imperative to reflect on the key takeaways that will guide us to a better future. First and foremost, we witnessed how globalization has interconnected our world. We learned that sustainability is what we have, that is, our resources, production, what we make, and how we use it, that is, our lifestyle choices. We also looked into three types of sustainability: environment, social, and economic, followed by the pathways to achieve sustainability, starting from using renewable energy, conserving water, using energy efficient equipments, reducing travel emission, and lastly, using products that are easy to recycle. We also explored the critical elements that are people, planet, prospect, and plastics. The UNO goal applicable universally are a testament to our collective commitment. Remember the 6 R's: rethink, refuse, reduce, reuse, recycle, and repair. Let's embark on a journey knowing that by fostering strategic sustainable partnerships, we can transform our world for a betterment. Let's create a brighter future for all where people and planet can thrive and plastics are no longer a threat. Let's forge ahead where we share a commitment to a better and more sustainable world. Thank you.
As we come to end of this session, once again I thank Dr. Kirti Dharwadkar ma'am for gracing us with her presence and insights. Thank you everyone. Now I request everyone to proceed to first floor computer lab. Thank you.
Before that, all faculties please come here. We'll have a group photo with ma'am. Then students can